Welcome, welcome. This is the first video I'm doing like this with my haircut. It's not clean. I haven't taken a shower yet. But I figured that this has been rummaging through my brain for a while now. There's a book series I read a while back. And when I say a while back, I mean a while back. Anyway, that I just don't see get enough love that it deserves. And I love this series with all my heart. I know there's some boring political parts to it, but keep hitting it. And I figured I'd also do this from a different angle, even. As you can tell, I'm still adjusting to the weird angle, but as you can see, my dad's Rocky in the background. Anyway, this book series just doesn't get enough love, in my opinion, from what I can see. Because I found out recently that there is a fourth book, 14 years in between the third and the fourth book. From 2006, I believe it was, to 2019. And when I found it out, I went to Amazon, typed in the name, didn't pop up. It's like, that's weird. It exists. So, then I went to the website, found the link to Amazon, clicked on the link, and there it was on Amazon. You go to look up the book series in general, and there's very little detail, or very little links, or very little anything on it. Honestly, this book series is so underrated, in my opinion, that is why I want to do this. This video/video series, I don't know how, obviously it's going to be a video series. There's 4 books in the series, and I plan on doing this for all 4 books, even the new one that I haven't even bought yet. That's because I just bought something that was almost $500. So, I'll hold off on $14 book. Anyway, let me grab the series. I mean, the first book, the title probably gave away. They're all in this small kind of book form, so it's like it seems big because you look at it and there's like 500 to 600 pages in each book. Ironically, this has the most pages, but this one's the thickest. I still don't understand that to this day in my mind, but it's the Tears of Artamon. I've talked about it before. I've done a mini review on this before. But now, over the years, I've seen how overlooked it is, how just under the radar it flies, and not a lot of people give enough praise or recommendation, which is why in my uh, modern novels class that I had in high school, at the very end of the year, you got to pick a book and submit it to the teacher, and if she liked your reasoning enough, she would accept your book and use it the next following year. And I remember going through her class, it was mostly thrillers and romances. There were some offshoots here and there. Like, I remember reading The Neighbor, which was really good. There was some, I remember the author's name was Lisa something, but aside from that, I don't know. There was a lot of Harlan Coben. I read a Nicholas Sparks book for the first time. And there was one fantasy book that I read, and I do not remember it at all because it had a long title. But there was only one fantasy book, and that bothered me because that was my bread and butter. Fantasy, not thrillers, not romance, not the weird net, like, young adult, adventure, action, fantasy. Those were my books. I got an appreciation for thrillers, I guess, Alex Rider is kind of thrillerish. But Tears of Artamon just gets overlooked so much. And so Lord of Snow and Shadow was actually the book I submitted to my teacher. And I was like, I know, you might not like it as much because it's 500 pages, you know? And like this style, this paperback style, is like 540, 70 some odd pages. But I really like it, It's got really interesting characters, really interesting setting. I really love Gavril. I really like Altisha, or Altessa. Even the King guy, William, I think. I haven't reread it yet, obviously, because that's where I'm getting to. I even liked him, even though when I first read the books, I skipped over the chapters completely. If a chapter did not include Gavril, I didn't read it. I skipped it. I skimmed it. Okay. Didn't skip it. I skimmed it. Because I didn't care. I didn't care for this boring political stuff. I just wanted Gavril. Because he was the character I attached to. He was the character I wanted to read about. He was my glue, my attachment. I liked Gavril. He's a parent. So, I guess you could say I latched on to him. I don't want to use the word kin because I don't really like that. But, I related to him. So that's why I liked it so much. So I'm going to go chapter by chapter. Break down what happens in the chapter, what I liked, what I didn't like. For all the books. For the whole series. Maybe I might do the prequel ones. There's 2 prequel books that are unrelated to like the main continuity of the story. But I might do those, or I might not. I don't know. It depends on when I actually finally get them. They're actually a little more pricier than the 4th book in the series, or even these. These are really cheap on Amazon because when I did find them, they're like less than $10 each. You can probably buy all 3 for 10. That's not including the shipping tax and all that stuff. But so with this series, I'm just gonna probably title it Tears of Artamon Analysis because I love this series. So obviously you've got Lord of Stone and Shadow, which I love the covers. Prisoner of the Iron Tower, which is probably one of the only times I've cried with a haircut, but then she fixes it. And Children of the Serpent Gate. And again, I love I love the art. Alright. Even with this one, you got the tower, you got the dragon, pretty cool. You got the snowy area with the freaking snow owl right there. I love it. It's beautiful. So like I said, I'm just gonna read right now the kind of like gripping thing. I think this is just okay. No, yeah, this is because some books like do like an excerpt from like a paragraph randomly thrown in there on the back, and some do actually do like the synopsis. No, this does have the synopsis. Anyway, a new fantasy series that will leave readers drooling to get their hands on the sequel by Publishers Weekly. Yeah. I mean, I got all 3 at the same time from my cousin Peter, so I didn't have to wait very long. What was this? I think this was 2003. Lords of Snow and Shadow? Or Lord of Snow and Shadow, not Lords. Okay, maybe it'll just tell me on the back. No. Back? No. It'll tell me on the first page. Not that I saw it. It's weird. Why don't you tell me a year? That makes no sense. I'm pretty sure this was 2003. And then Prisoner of Iron Tower was 2004. And Serpent Gate was 2005. I don't know. There's an actual map there. See? Yeah, this does not tell you the year it came out. At least here. Anyway, good. Nope. Oh well. Unusual, exotic, well worth the read. Catherine Kurtz, author of Crusade of Fire. Unusually complex with a smooth style, breathtaking atmosphere, and a fickle, impetuous plot. Dave Duncan, author of Paragon Lost. I've not read either of those two books. A splendid tale. Sarah Ashe is destined to be one of the bright luminaries of fantasy. Dennis L. McCarranan, author of the Mythgar series. And never read that either. So now I'm just going to read it back. Combining the best fantasy traditions with her own unique vision, Sarah Ashe brings us a new saga filled with epic adventure and unforgettable characters, set in a world teeming with political intrigue, astonishing magic, and passions both dark and light. Raised by his protective mother in the sunny climes of the south, Gavril Andar knows nothing of his father, or of the ominous legacy that awaits him. But now, the man who ruled the wintry kingdom of Askendir, a man infused with the burning blood of the dragon warrior known as the Dracul, has been murdered by his enemies. Expected to avenge his father's death and still his unquiet ghost, Gavril soon learns that becoming Dracon means not only ascending to the throne of Askendir, but slowly changing into a being of extraordinary power and might. A being that must be replenished with the blood of innocence in order to survive. Which, as you can tell, that probably has a lot of moral dilemma to it. So yeah, this is just an intro little video, short little quick intro as to what this is going to be from here on out. Like I'll do the prologue. It's only one page. And then from there on out, I'm just gonna read the chapter. I'm gonna record the video, and then I'm gonna do that continuously until I have enough footage to kind of like make a decent length video. Like I'm not gonna do like a 50-minute video of me just going over half of this book. No. The moment I get to like 15 minutes, I'll probably cap it right there and do the outro. Yeah, an intro and an outro. Chapters in the middle. You know how it goes. So again, I'll do the prologue here because it's only one page. And I'm actually gonna read it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna read the entire chapter for you. I'm gonna read the chapter off screen, come back, and then give my thoughts on it. But for the prologue and the epilogue, I might as well read those. They're both like only a page. Correct. I gotta find the epilogue. Okay, the epilogue is like 2 pages, basically. But this literally that's the prologue right there. Just that. So I'm gonna read it to you. It's called Winter Ghost Songs. Prologue. The clan lord lies dying, his eyes wandering, glazing over as he reaches out blindly to grasp his lieutenant's arm. Over. At last. Old friend. The hand falls away, his grizzled head lolls sideways, sightless eyes sliding upward, clear at last as if a dark veil has melted away. And as his faithful friend watches, his sight dimmed with tears, he sees a shadow, black as a storm cloud, slowly rise from the still body of his master, lift and gather itself until it hovers over him. A great winged demon serpent, terrible and puissant. Dracul, he whispers in awe and terror. Now all the warriors and servants have fallen silent, watching and covering their faces in fear. Lead me, Dracul. The old soldier cries aloud, "Show me where he is to be found, and I will follow you, no matter how far. Take me to our new lord, our new Dracon." That's it. It's literally just Gavril's dad dying, and the Dracon coming out of his body, and then his right hand man saying, "Yo, bro, take me to his son. I'll bring him back here. I don't care how far it is. I'll follow you. Do what it is. I'll go as far as I gotta go to get this man." All right. So yeah, there's nothing more than that. So the dad dies, and the friend's like, "Hey, yo, Dracon, you know, Dracul, you gotta go find your Dracon, but I don't know where he's at. Sure, you do. Take me to him. Don't care how far." And then obviously chapter one starts with Gavril in a portrait session, as most books start. But yeah, again, I do think this series in general is very, very, very underrated, and that's why I want to do this so bad. So yeah, I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to go through this, like the series in general, and the way I'm doing it, reading it, dissecting it for you, and then just rinse and repeat that, because I don't know how much I'm going to have like thoughts on each chapter in particular. But yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. I am dissecting, analyzing, and fanboying over a highly overlooked decade-old series, almost 2 decades old. Like next year is this book's 20th anniversary. That is so weird. That is so weird. When I first read these books, they weren't even a decade old. Now here I am about to do probably the biggest book uh, video series I've ever done in my entire life, with it almost being 2 decades old. All because I found out there's a fourth one that I had no idea about. Because again, this book series is just underrated. Hardly anybody talks about it, and I want to bring light to it. So let this be a warning. Or a promise, however you want to take it. I will dissect the tears of Artamon. Hope you have a great day. Remember, you can be the best you. So weird going from that to the outro. It is what it is. But yeah, I hope you all can be the best you possibly be. If you like the video, like, comment, feel this special so awesome. Subscribe if you haven't. That really help me out. And ta ta.